So if you have a YouTube channel that receives a lot of comments, and of course you need to reply to your comments because you don't want to leave your subscribers just hanging there. You want to build a relationship. Or if you're somebody who is managing people's YouTube channels and has to reply to all these comments, you probably know that it can become a complete nightmare, trying to answer hundreds upon hundreds of comments. It's probably okay if you have a small channel or manage a small channel and you only receive a few comments a day. But if it's a big channel or with a lot of comments, it can become a very hairy situation, very, very easy. So I have this super cool and super simple automation that will actually analyze all the comments. It will decide on which comments to leave an answer, because with some comments, we actually need to do it ourselves. But if we semi-automate it and we probably auto-reply to 70 to 80% of the comments, because a lot of the comments are like, thank you, this is really helpful, things like this. So you can have AI reply to it. However, there are comments where people are asking specific questions or they need more of a human touch and human input. Then you will see which comments you will need to actually go and action. Okay, so for this automation, we are going to need our Make account and an Airtable account. And let me show you. So this is our automation that we're going to go through. And this is our Airtable. And I'm going to show you all the headings that I have. You can recreate it. Or if you want to come and grab the blueprint and the template of this Airtable, make sure that you click the link under this video and come and join my school community, which is super, super cool. Everybody is extremely helpful and you're going to learn a lot on how to build AI solutions and sell them successfully, which is actually probably the more important thing than just creating cool stuff. Okay, so let's start with our Airtable. So we're going to build an Airtable where we want to have the actual comment. We want to find out if this comment is good for a testimonial. I actually learned that from somebody, that we can use our YouTube comments for testimonials and we can actually map them. We want to look at the sentiment, which means, is it a positive or a negative comment? Does it require a reply? The urgency. If there's a question that's being detected, so we're going to ask the AI to detect if there's a question. So if there's a question, we generally want a human to answer, not the AI. Then we're going to have a generic reply that will be something like, thank you for the warm words, you're welcome, or something like this. We have our suggested reply, of course, here. We also want to find out in what language people are leaving comments. Character count, this is very optional. As I said, I learned this whole automation from someone and they had the character count, so I just left it there in case. The comment ID, if you ever want to go back to that comment, is really useful to have the comment ID. You can also look for the channel ID of the people that are leaving comments, because if you start looking at people's channels, you may find like a common denominator. What type of people are watching your videos? Very, very useful when you're analyzing your data. And the day published and how many likes you're getting. Okay, so this is our Airtable. As I said, you can grab the template in my school community along with this and all of my other blueprints. Okay, now let's start with our automation and go module by module. So our very first module is a YouTube module, which is going to watch the comments. So you will have to connect your YouTube to your module. We're going to watch comments in channel. You can watch them in video. I like to watch them in channel because there's different comments coming at different times. You're going to click on the channel, you're going to add the channel ID, and we want to only moderate comments that are on published videos. Then you can select the limit. It can be anything you want. I've just selected 10 here, and then you're going to click OK. The next thing we want to do is add an iterator, because if we're bringing in 10 comments, we actually want to separate them. And we're going to separate them by the comment ID and by the actual text. So we're going to map out the text original. So these are the two things that we want to separate them with. And what we're doing after that, we are going to add a completion prompt with ChatGPT. You can use Claude if you want to. I generally use ChatGPT more, so I am selecting the ChatGPT completion model. Of course, you need to set up your connection, and you can select whichever model you want. I'm using the GPT-4o, and I have two prompts. So the first prompt is a JSON object. So I'm telling the system that I want to create a JSON object in this specific format. So if you can see, what I'm asking for is good for testimonial, sentiment requires urgency. You will see that all these 9 topics that I'm asking for in my JSON object correspond to some of my headings. So this is a way for me to map out all these things, all these columns that I can use. And then what we are asking for in our prompt to the user prompt is, we're saying you are an expert in YouTube comment analysis. I will provide you with a comment, and your role is to analyze this comment and determine the following. So we want our ChatGPT to determine if the comment can be used as a positive testimonial, to check the sentiment, is it positive or negative, determine if it requires an urgent reply, determine the level of urgency, determine if it contains a question, if you can reply with a generic reply or not. And you can generate a suggested reply, and check the language, and check how many characters are in the comment. So as you can see, we have 9 things that we're asking ChatGPT to look at and determine and analyze based on our JSON object. And at the end, as you can see, what we're looking at is that original text, so the actual comment. Then what we want to do is we actually want to transform this text to a structured data. So we have another module that is transform text to structure data. And I don't know why it's not working. I am trying to open it. Let me try again and see if it will open. Come on. Okay, it opened finally. Okay, so the first thing, the text to parse. So to create that structured data, and what we want to do is extract that JSON. So basically, we're going to click and select our previous module. We'll click on choices, on messages, and on the content. So this is what we are mapping out. The prompt is extract the JSON. So now, if you remember our JSON object that we saw in the previous module, we are going to actually map out all of that. So the first one was good for testimonial, and the description is, can this comment be used for a testimonial? And because I hope I can open it faster in a moment. But if you see the data type in here, so the data type is true. That's a Boolean. A Boolean can only be true or false. So this is how we're mapping it. This is a Boolean. This is a Boolean. I think this is a Boolean. This is a Boolean. Where it says positive, moderate. These are text. Okay, so let's go back. And as I said, don't worry about it. I have the whole blueprint ready for you in my school community. So come and grab it. We are very, very helpful and you will learn a lot. Okay, so again, as you can see, so that was the first one. And because it's a Boolean, we're mapping out the Boolean. The second one was the sentiment, which is an actual word. And we're asking, is the sentiment positive? We want to find that out. And our data type is text. So when you click on here, you can have text. The previous one was Boolean. And we're looking for a positive value. Now, all these parameters will allow us to map out the whole Airtable. So all these will be mapped into our Airtable here and have it as a little database. And what happens after that is we're going to put a router. So with this router, in one branch, we're going to map out everything into Airtable. And with the other branch, we are going to actually comment on the reply to the comments that can be done with AI. Okay, so let me show you the Airtable. So all of these columns that we have here, we're mapping out from the YouTube module or from the last OpenAI module where we transformed the text to structured data, because this is super, super easy to map out. So as you can see, the comment is the original comment from the YouTube module. Also, we have the author, which will be, where is it? Author. Sorry, I can't find it now. Author display name. I am going blind. Oh, here we go. Author display name. And then all these 9 headings will be mapped out from here. As you can see, we actually have the results. I ran it before so you can see the actual results that we're getting. And we're going to run it again in a moment again. So we're mapping these out, and then we continue to map out the comment ID, the channel ID, when it was published, and the like count. So these are likes on the comments, not likes on your video. And this, as I said, will become your little database. And the more you do it, the more data you have that you can then actually analyze it with AI and see what comments are coming often, what questions are coming often, and make more videos that will cover especially the questions that you're being asked. And our last module is we want to reply where we need to based on a filter. So I'm going to show you the filter in a moment. But basically, all we want to reply is with the suggested reply right here. This is the only thing we're going to map out into our YouTube module. And don't forget that we need to actually map out the comment ID, which is right here. Now, in order, because if we don't have a filter, every single comment will have a reply. So we only need to reply, if you remember, we only need to reply to comments that sorry, let me open it, comments that require only a generic reply, not a reply from a human. If the sentiment is positive, because if the sentiment is negative, again, you will need to reply personally. And then we're going to filter out the detected questions. So as you can see, our conditions, the very first one is the generic reply. Where is it? Generic reply. So we're looking for true. As you can see, we need a Boolean operator. Basically, if you click on here, you will see all the operators, and you will be looking for the Boolean operator that will be equal to true. The next one, the sentiment. Our sentiment is right here, and we only want to reply to comments that have a positive sentiment. So we are going to have a text operator here. It's the text operator here, and it's going to be set up to positive. And the last, so we don't have or, we want all these three conditions to be true in order to reply to a comment. So the third one is the detected question, which is right here. And we want another Boolean operator, but we want this time to be equal to false. So if we have all of these conditions met, then our AI will actually leave a reply to the comment. Okay, so now I'm going to refresh my automation so we can start from scratch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to choose where to start. I'm going to choose manually. And I'll just choose this one, and it will probably actually pick up all of them. But let's start from here, and we're going to run it once. So basically, as you can see, it's passed the three comments, and I had only, let me show you. Come on. Okay, so these first ones were the ones that I was testing. So these are the second ones that just came through. So as you can see, the comment is the actual comment, good for testimonial. The sentiment is positive on all of them. There's an urgency. It's described them as low and to moderate. As you can see, detected question in here in this one. It says, I'd like to see a comparison asking ChatGPT to create the same prompt on its own compared to the personal information you gave that GPT. Anyway, great information. Thank you. So it detected that this is a question, and it set it up as true. Generic reply, because it detected a question, it will not reply with a generic reply. It does have a suggested reply, but it's not going to auto post it. It will post on the other two comments. And it's all in English, character count. This kind of gives you indication how long the comment is. So this one is just a thanks, so it's only 6 characters. And we've got the comment ID, the channel ID, the day published, and there are no likes on those comments yet. So if we go back into my channel, I believe this last one had the last 2. I'm going to stop it, and we're going to have a look. As you can see, I just replied with exactly what I have in the Airtable. It says, thank you. We're glad you're enjoying the community and finding it supportive. Now, one thing that you may want to fine tune in your prompt is to write from first person perspective rather than saying we. And this is the next one that is just a thank you. And if we look at them, this one says, thank you. We're glad that you're enjoying the community and finding it supportive. You will see that this is exactly what this comment is. Thank you. We're glad that you're finding the support, the community. Sorry, thank you. We're glad that you are enjoying the community and finding it useful. As you can see, this little automation and the Airtable can save you a ton of time, either with your own channel or if you're managing other people's channels. Please check out my school community, or if you want me to build it for you, just hit me up in the comments and we'll have a chat.